Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I trust we all had a good night and we're ready to start our day today. And we'll be looking forward to today's session. This is the fifth topic, right? I think you've had four classes so far. So this is the fifth one. And what we're going to look at today is how to use your data and insights to help grow your business. So where do you get this data? Or the first thing is what kind of data, what kind of information are you looking for? All right. So where do you get that data? And then now you've gotten your data, how do you use that information to tweak your marketing strategy to work for you? Right? So that's what you're going to learn today. I'll give us like 4 minutes, 4 minutes, so that you can join the session. As you join in, please remember to introduce yourself. What is your name? Where are you joining us from? You can also tell us if you've enjoyed the session so far. How do you find them? Do you have any feedback for us? What can we do better? So you can always just tell us that in the chat section as well. All right. So I'm looking forward to seeing your comments. Sorry. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments. If you're ready, if you're here, please drop your comments in the chat section, introduce yourself, and tell us where you're joining us from. I'm happy to have you here. I have my moderator and my colleague for today's session. Okay, rather, he's my colleague, but my moderator for today's session, Udeme, in the chat section. He's already there. You can see him saying hi to you. So please feel free to say hi back to Udeme. Let us get acquainted with each other. Udeme is in Nigeria, okay? So just your neighbor, and I'm in Kenya. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Berry Lokwach. I'll be the facilitator for today's session. I work with Impactor as in the partnerships department, and I'm also a certified trainer. So it's really nice to have you here. I saw someone join in and then they left. Who was that? Okay, so we'll just move on to the next part of what we're going to cover today. But as you join in, I'll just keep on reiterating. As you join in, feel free to introduce yourself and tell us where you're joining us from, right? So in this session, there are three things we're going to look at. You're going to first look at, let me just go back to this previous slide, using data and insights to grow your business. Okay. So what kind of data do you think you want to get? What kind of data do you want to acquire? What do you want to do with that data? Where are the different places that you can get that data? All right. Which basically takes us to our agenda, understanding the right questions to ask. So that's the right questions to ask yourself, the right questions to ask your clients. All right. What do you want to achieve? Okay. What do you want to achieve? What kind of information are you looking for? Is it in regards to maybe the challenges your clients are going through? Is it in regards to their interests? You understand? Is it in regards to what platforms they prefer? So what kind of data do you think what kind of information are you asking yourself to be able to get a guidance on the kind of information to look for? All right. So also basically this takes us to the kind of platforms or tools to best use in order to gather that information. All right. So this is what I want to know. But where can I get this information? Are there tools that I can leverage on to get this information? All right. So we look at identifying those tools, and then we'll also look at understanding and analyzing your data. So I've understood the questions that I need to ask myself or my clients. I've understood where I can get that information. So I've gotten that information already. How do I analyze that data to better understand it and to better make marketing decisions? Do you get? So those are the three things we're going to cover today. I'm hoping by the end of this session, we'll all have an understanding of all these three things. So this has been said in the previous sections that we'll keep on reiterating because it's very important for you. Remember to sign up for the Google Hustle Academy. It's a 1-week long boot camp, right? You get to learn a lot of things. It's a very, very intensive training. All right. And I think the perk of it is that you get to be assigned a mentor at the end of it all, to walk you through your mentorship journey. Do you have any issues? What help do you need? So there's that bit. All right. So let's look at, what are you going to learn in the Hustle Academy? You want to learn how to pitch your business. How do you get started with that? What kind of information do you need to include in your decks? So you're going to approach an investor. You can't just go with, I know there's the elevator pitch, right, which actually works. But if they ask for documents, what do you need to input in your document, in your pitching deck? All right. If you're looking at financial forecast, if you're looking at your budget, what is your ask? All right. How do you formulate your own pitching deck? So these are some of the things that are being taught in the Hustle Academy. All right. Your funding needs, identifying your funding needs as a business. All right. Of course, we want a lot of things for a business. We want to grow, but looking at your current state, what do you need at this moment right now? Okay. So identifying that, and also how to position yourself for potential investors, the different funding options available. If you want to do crowdfunding, how do you get started with that? And then you want to get started with digital marketing. Okay, the practical bits of it, the practical bits in terms of the tools you can use if you want to do search engine marketing. How do you get started? You want to do a lot of content development. How do you get started with that? What tools can you use? Okay, your business strategy. You want to formulate your own business strategy. All these things, like I said, it's a very, very, very intensive training. You would not want to miss it, and it's free. So Udemy has posted the link in the chat section. Please make sure you sign up for the Google Hustle Academy. So I like my sessions to be very, very interactive. All right. I like my sessions to be very interactive. So let me know, what words would you use to describe your customers? What words would you use to describe your customers? Let me see who is here. Who do I have here? So if you're here, please introduce yourself in the chat section. There's some of us here, but we are very quiet. I don't know why we are so quiet. So introduce yourself in the chat section. Udeme is already there. Thank you, Udeme. And let me know. So the first thing I would like to know is, you're the ones with the business. I don't have a business personally. Okay. So let me know, what words would you use to best describe your customers? What words would you use to best describe your customers? What words would you use to best describe your customers? All right. Are they are they what, adults, 35 years of age? Are they inquisitive? What are their interests? What are their challenges? You understand? So those kind of things. How best would you describe your customers? What words would you use to describe your customers at the moment? What words would you use to describe your customers at the moment? We have no one. No one, no one, no one. Okay, okay, so we'll move on to the next part, but I'll come back to look at your responses. So just as we're moving along, please feel free to drop your responses in the chat section, right? Feel free to drop your responses, any clarifications you might need. You want me to go back to the previous slide, that's also okay. I can do that, all right? Remember, we're moving together. We've started together. I would want us to end the session together. So what words would you use to describe your customers? I'll come back again to pick up the responses to that. Meanwhile, let's dive into our agenda. Remember the three things that we are going to cover in this session. The first one was understanding the right questions to ask. All right. So the first thing, again, another practical, session for us. So what questions do you want to ask your customers? What would you like to learn from them? Do you want to ask them if they're satisfied with your services? What you can do better, the recommendations. All right. If you would like, you could ask them to rate you from 1 to 5. So that's also a thing. So what questions do you want to ask your customers? What are some of the questions that you would like to ask your customers? No responses yet. Do I have anyone here? None. Okay, okay, okay. So what questions do you want to ask your customers? Okay, right, it's fine. We'll come back again. Like I said, I'll come back again during the session to pick up responses, any questions, and basically interact with you. So Udemy is also there. Uh, what questions do you want to ask yourself? I don't understand why we are so quiet. Is my audio okay? Is my video okay? Right? Is my audio okay? Is my video okay? Maybe you're not hearing me and I am imagining that you can hear me. All right? It's okay. So we'll just move on. In the process of analytics, there are four things that you need to ask yourself. The first one is, all right, there are four steps to the process of analytics. The first one is, what is my objective, right? What do I intend to achieve? Basically, where do I want to go? What is the outcome of everything? What is my uh, my imagined outcome? Okay, so what is my objective? It basically helps you to understand, even the kind of efforts, the kind of resources that you're going to put in place to achieve that objective. All right. And I think in the previous session we talked about having your business goal, aligning it again to your online objective, and further curating smart objectives from your online objective. So we talked about your objectives being specific, which means very simple, measurable, that you're able to measure them, achievable in regards to maybe your customers, purchasing power, your current market, the resources that you have. Then R was for reasonable. All right, it needs to make sense according to the situation which you're in right now, and you need to have a timeline to your objectives. Okay. And then the other question, the next step is, what questions do I need to address? All right. So I want to gather information, but I need to ask myself some questions in regards to that to give me basically a guidance on the information that I want to acquire. Then where do I get that information? I think I talked about this on the first slide when you were looking at the agenda. Where do I get that information? What are the tools that I can use to get that information? And then I've gotten my information. So what do I do with it? Do I just file them and store away? Or do I look at my marketing plan? We looked at building your digital marketing plan in the second session. Or do I go back to my marketing plan and tweak it and see what I can do better on it? Okay. So that's it. Those are the four things that you're going to look at when in the process of analytics. So I've talked about what is my objectives. All right. These are basically sample objectives that you can have. You would want to maybe tell more people about your business. You want to make a sale of a product or service, whether you're in the product industry or in the service industry. You want to identify your most valuable customers, or you want to find new ways to engage with your customers. Okay, this could be your objectives. And then remember, you're taking it to the online space, so you need to align this with your online objectives. I think, for example, the first one could be, if you want to tell more people about your business, it could be you want to increase your reach and awareness. Okay, so that's an objective in the online space, to increase your reach and awareness. You want to sell more of your product or service. It could be you want to increase website traffic, or you want to increase website sales. Okay, so you have to look at how you can align your objectives to your online objectives, and then further to smart objectives. Okay, so I could say that in fact, to assist myself as a business person to track and measure the performance of that objective, I could say I want to increase my social media reach by maybe 20% in the next 3 months. Okay, so I'm able to track how far I am in achieving that objective per month or either per week. Okay, then what questions do I need to address? Okay, so we have a more or less, quote unquote, like a formula in which basically gives you a guidance on the kind of questions you need to ask yourself, depending on what you want to collect, what information you want to collect. So there's the RIN acronym that we're going to look at that will guide you to know the type of questions to ask. So RIN stands from, remember we talked about SMART, for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Then there's REACH for reach, engage, activate, and nurture. Reach, engage, activate, and nurture. So under reach, you can ask yourself, who is my target audience? All right. And how do I reach them? You need to understand your target interest. Okay, how do I reach them online? So which platforms are they mostly found? What times? What kind of devices are they using? What posts do they interact with the most? Okay, and then under engage, you ask yourself, are they finding what they need? All right, so you figured out their interest, but are they finding what they need in the online space? All right, and then under activate, are they booking? Because it's fine if they're aware of your business, it's fine if they have the interest, all right, but are they engaging with you? All right, are they taking the intended action that you want them to take? If it is making calls to you, reaching out to you, if it is booking for appointments, all right, or making bookings in terms of either a product, either a service you're offering, maybe counseling services, things like that, or bookings in terms of booking for slots, maybe for a safari or things like that. Okay, so are they taking the intended action that you want them to take? And that's usually on conversion, right? And then nurturing, are they coming back? Right? Because you don't want to make one-off sales. You want to have repeat sales always, as much as you're looking at acquiring new customers. You also want return clients. Okay. So you need to ask yourself if they are coming back, and then where do I get that information? So all these questions that I've asked myself, I need responses to them. All right. I need answers to them. Where do I get the answers to these questions? Okay. So it depends on the kind of channel in which you're in. If you're in social media, you're in social media. If it's Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform you're on, you can get that information from the social channels. All right. So there's the analytics bit of every channel. So there's Facebook analytics, YouTube analytics, Twitter analytics,
Beryl got kicked out because of our internet. Share my screen, so I'll just pick up from where she stopped. So sorry. These things happen. Okay, so not sure what happened with her end, what happened from her end, but I'm sure she's fixing it, and then I'm sure she can join us. She gets it done. All right. Um, and then we'll pick it up from there. All right. So okay, basically just needs you to be sure of the right tools to use. Um, the internet offers and various platforms where they get to show to you the activities that are basically happening. Those tools on your social media platform, likes of Instagram and the rest of those platforms, that are all available, and they have very place where you can find information. Is going to be in your organic what customers are looking with your business with the searches, right? So you have that also on the platform like the Google Search Console to find out what information from your business. Then you can also have the Google Business Profile also, what customers are searching for around your business, which of the pages that has the most causing this engagement, which page is causing people to bounce off. The analytics, Google Analytics will also offer you that stats for you to know. Then you also have the paid search, where you get to people are searching for from your page, from the ads you're running, from the Google, where they are coming from, their demography, their age, their sex, on your paid search as well. Okay, information from now. The fourth option is, what do you do with all you've gathered them? What can you do with them? How do you use that information? Now, the marketing trends is what you use. The analysis, know how to tweak it better. You get to identify the trends, what is happening around the space. Find those insights and get to understand what is happening around. Lingeries may be selling in maybe summer life, right? Thick clothes may be selling better at some time in life, sometimes. So all those data to find out what customers basically prefer. And then you also want to purchase customers part to
Hi, Udeme.
bury your back.
I was talking to myself. I even got to the point of asking for questions. Thank you.
Sorry about
It's okay. Let me just share my slide.
that. Okay.
Mm,
Hi,
I'd
Larissa.
even gotten to
Thank
this
you for
point.
joining us. Just pick up from there. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much, Udeme, for that. I think I had some issue with my network, but that's fine. I think there was issue with the power. Obviously my wi-fi went off and I didn't realize that. So I hope you can all see my screen and ready to continue the session. So just to quickly go through what you can do with your insights. So what do you do with that information that you've collected? from the different tools. All right. So we said you get to understand about market trends, what's trending, what's not trending, the search terms that are trending. Can you incorporate that to your website or your Google business profile? Then there was understanding your buyer journey. So you understand at what point in their buyer journey they're stuck at and what you can do to propel them down the funnel towards conversion. And then you can also use that information that you've gathered to understand the different kind of contents that basically your audience interacts with the most. If they like your blog posts more, if they like your video posts more, you can be sharing those more because they give you the most engagement. And the higher your engagement, the higher likely you are to convert, right? And then you also get to adapt your strategy. You can look at where you stand vis-a-vis your. You can look at where you stand vis-a-vis your competitors. So you're also able to know how you can position your value proposition, all right? And your basically your unique selling point, all right? So there's also that. Do I have any questions up to this point? Any questions, please? Hello, Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Queen. Hi, Larissa. I'm really happy to see you. I'm really happy to have you in today's session. So do I have any questions? If there are any questions, please just drop them in the chat section. If there are no questions, please also feel free to basically uh, indicate no questions. So if there are no questions, also indicate no questions so that I know we are all on the same page. Do I have any questions so far? Any questions? Any questions? Udeme, I cannot see any questions. Larissa is quiet. Queen is quiet. Jacqueline is quiet. Okay. So does silence mean consent at this point? Does it mean that we're okay? So the only two things if you don't have a question. Hi, Esther. Hi, how are you? Larissa, no question for now. Thank you, Larissa, for that. Thank you for that feedback. Okay. So we'll move on to the next part of our session, which is basically identifying the best tools to use. So we've looked at the right questions to ask yourself, okay? So what do I need to ask myself to basically give me a guidance in terms of the information that I'm looking for? And we said you can get this information from your social media channels. You can get the same information from your organic search. If it's the Google business profile, if it's the Google search console, you can get that information from your website. If you have a website, you can also get that information from your Google ads, okay? If you're running paid ads. And that's basically what you're going to look at right now. So before we get into that, what are some of the analytics tools that you currently use? What are some of the analytics tools that you currently use? If you're not using any analytics tool, please also feel free to indicate, you know what, Beryl, I have never used any analytics tool. I don't know. You feel free to indicate that you also have not used any analytics tool before. There's no wrong and right answer in this class. All right. Hi, Blessed Jemima. It's nice to see you. It's nice to have you here. Okay. So which analytics tool do you currently use? If you're not using any analytics tool, you can also just indicate, I am not using any analytics tool, Beryl. I have no idea about it. So you can also just indicate that for me in the chat section so that I know to proceed with the session. Okay. Let me see. What analytics tool do you know of? Thank you, Deme, for interacting with the attendees. All right. So I think we'll just move on. I'll be coming back to pick your questions again, your responses again. So the tools, and I think I mentioned this, if you're on social media, remember we said you can get this information. on the kind of questions that you ask yourself, you can get that information from the responses to those questions from either your social media, your organic search, your website, or your paid search. All right. So on social, if you're on Facebook, all right, you can use Facebook analytics. If you're on Twitter, there's Twitter analytics. All right. Or you can also use Facebook Business Manager. You can also get all that information from Facebook Business Manager. If you're using the different social media management tools, there's Hootsuite. That's, you can see the icon with the owl, right? So that is Hootsuite. There's Hootsuite that you can use to collect that information. And then there's Zoho. All right. Zoho has not been indicated there, but they also have a social media management platform that you can use to get analytics about the different, the performance of your different social media platforms, the kind of traction you're getting on each, the kind of content that people are interacting with, which content has the most engaging, which content is the most engaging. So all that information you can get. All right. And then if it's on organic search and you have the Google My Business profile, this has been covered. You can look at the Google Business Profile analytics. You're able to see these are the amount of clicks that I got. All right. Where did these people come from? So my listing appeared to maybe Larissa's listing appeared on my results page. All right. But how did that happen? Did I search specifically for Larissa's business name, or did they search for a product or service that Larissa is dealing with that made her listing appear? All right. So you can get all that information from the analytics. So you know whether your profile is well optimized, what you can do better. All that information will help you in tweaking your marketing strategy. You're also able to know the number of people who visited your website or who are redirected to your website from your Google business profile. You're able to know. You're able to know who made calls, who made bookings, all right, from your Google business profile. So it's very important that as much as you're leveraging on these tools, you're also able to measure whether it's working out for you or not working out for you. All right. And then there's also the Google Search Console. If you've linked it on your website and you're running SEO on your website, you're able to track how well optimized your website is. All right. So you're able, with the Google Search Console, you're able to see the most used keywords, that bring people to your website, what kind of keywords are bringing people to your website, or the kind of search terms, the kind of keywords you're using on your website, how well they're working out for you. All right. And also the best in Google Search Console, if there are any recommended changes that you need to do on your website, you get alerts. If there's an issue with the page on your website that's not well optimized, you get alerts on it on your Gmail regarding depending on the contact email that you put for notifications. All right. They're able to get alerts that tell you, you know what, you need to work on this page. All right. So all these things you're able to learn from the Google Search Console. And then also, if you have a website and you link it with your Google Analytics, you're able to know the behavior of people on your website. So I have 100 people coming to my website, and all, like 90 out of the 100 people just go to my homepage and leave my website. All right. So that's basically the bounce rate, let's say. Yeah. So the bounce rate is when people come to your website and they're not taking the intended action that you want them to take. Okay. So they come and leave without doing anything meaningful. Okay. You don't want that to happen. You want, when people come to your website, either they make a booking, either they make a purchase, either they contact you, you want them to make an action. Okay. So from Google Analytics, you're able to know maybe if I have 90 people coming to the homepage, it basically means maybe my website is too complicated. So I need to simplify it, make it user friendly. Maybe I need to share more information that resonates with, what they're looking for. All right. So all this, when you link your website to the analytics, you're also able to know these are the kind of people who came to my website. Who are these people who came to my website? So Beryl is this and this, 30 years old, is a female, all those things. You're able to know about the demographics of your website. You're able to know where they came from. All right. Where did these people come from? If you're running paid ads, they got to your website. You're able to know this is where they came from. All right. What devices they are using. All that information you can get from Google Analytics. And then if you're doing search engine marketing, you're running ads, obviously you would want to know the performance of your ads, okay, because you're spending money on them. You need to know the performance of your ads, okay. So you're able to see how many people reached, how many people were reached with your ad, how many made a click on them, okay, how many came to maybe your maybe how many people clicked on them. If you were running a lead, that's basically on social media, yeah. So it depends, all right. So you get to learn about the performance of your ads on, basically using Google Ads. So I think I've mentioned on Facebook Insights. Okay, I've talked about the Facebook Analytics. You're able to know the kind of posts that people are engaging with the most. How are they finding you? At what time are they mostly online? Because if I decide to make a post maybe in the morning, one at lunchtime, and one in the evening, those are 3 posts per day. And I figure out, looking at the analytics, I found out that the evening post actually get more traction and engagement more than my morning post. Then obviously there's no point in making the morning post because it's not working out for you. You're not getting any traction, right? You're getting like one like or one comment, and the evening post has like 100 likes, 150 comments. Obviously there's no point in focusing on doing the morning post, right? So you're able to find which posts are the most engaging, which post performed the best, on which day, why, all those informations. All right. And then with the Google Search Console, I've also mentioned this. You find out valuable information about your website, the visitors that come to your website from, especially from organic search. That's from Google Search. Okay, the kind of search terms they used. All right. So you get this information from Google Search Console with the Google Business Profile, which basically I think we said is a free tool that helps to increase your visibility on either search or maps. You're able to know the kind of the number of clicks you got on your profile. Where did these people come from? The kind of search term they used to search for, for your listing to appear. Okay, how many people made bookings? How many people made calls? All right, you're able to find all that information. And then there's also Google Trends, which is a free tool that's offered by Google. You can use Google Trends to understand about the popularity of a search term, whether it's declining or inclining. All right, you can look at previous trends. I can go to Google Trends and look at previous trends from like 2020, 2019, and understand. So basically I'm getting an idea of my market. So I want to get into the clothing business. All right, maybe I want to start doing winter, to start selling winter clothes. All right, so I can go to Google Trends. And the best thing with Google Trends, you can search trends by location. So I'm in Kenya, I want to start, let me assume in South Africa, because they have snow. All right, they have winter. So I say I go to South Africa and say, you know what, I want to look at the trends of winter clothing in previous years, so that I know when I can be bringing them. So maybe I want to start my business next year. All right, you would not want to bring winter clothes during the summer. So you want to look at previous trends, when people searched for the clothes the most, when did the trend incline, when did it incline. It basically helps you in making your marketing decision. All right, and the best thing with the results from the Google Trends is that they come anonymized, so they don't give the names of the people who made the searches. They come categorized by topics. All right, so it's easy for you to to understand trends per category. All right, and they're also, with Google Trends, you're also able to get to learn about related queries. So people searched for this, what were the related queries that people searched for? So maybe I go online and search for winter jackets, maybe someone else went and searched for mittens. All right, the warm mittens. So you get related queries, which also help you in making better marketing decisions. All right. Then moving on, there's how do you rise above the competition with Google Trends? I think I've talked about Google Trends so far. You get to understand the relevance of trending topics. Okay, so you look at what's trending and you ask yourself as a business, does it make sense for me to hop onto this trend? Can I make the same proposition to my clients, because that's what's trending at the moment? Is my business able to hop onto that trend? All right. So this is what's trending right now. Can I use the same search term or use it as a keyword on my website? All right, to basically help with my optimization. All right, if I want to run Google ads, remember with Google ads, search engine marketing, you bid on keywords, okay, but you still need to do a lot of research on the kind of keywords that you can use, all right, to assist with your bidding. So you're also able to monitor your competitors, all right? You're able to know how they're performing, all right? You're able to learn their mistakes, their successes, know what's working out for them, what's not working out for them. If it's working out for them, can I use the same tactics? If it's not working out for them, obviously you'd not want to do something that's not working out for them. Then you can do keyword research. I've also mentioned this. Remember, when you're using the Google Trends, you're also getting recommendations on related queries. All right. So you're able to know the kind of keywords that are trending and if you can use the same either for your optimization or your ads. Then you're also able to promote around seasonal trends. And I gave an example of the winter clothing. All right. They are not on demand from January to December. All right. So I'm able to know at what point I would need to bring them because I understand, even looking at previous trends, people normally search for them maybe in December or in January thereof. Okay. And also with Google Trends, I can find topics per region. So you're in Ghana, you want to get into the Kenyan market or you want to get into the Nigerian market, you can search about their market, their trending topics per region. All right. So that's the benefit of the Google Trends. And then there's the Google Analytics, which basically helps with understanding what customers do on your website. So people come to your website, what are they doing? All right. I talked about assuming you have 100 people coming to your website and 90% are only on your homepage. All right. Obviously, it means there's something wrong with your website. Why are people on your homepage? There's no good information on the homepage, basically. You want people to go to the product page. You want people to make purchases on your site. You want people to fill the inquiry form. You want people to call you from your website. All right. So that's what you would want to do. You don't just want people to come and leave without doing anything meaningful on your website. So Google Analytics helps you to understand the behavior of people on your website. Okay. So up to this point, do I have any question? Do I have any question up to this point? I hope I have not missed any question. Thank you, Deme. Deme, thank you so much. Google Analytics School, but I don't use it. So, do you think you've gotten enough information on how it can help you, Blessed Jemima, and see how you can leverage on it? What is Google Analytics tool? So Google Analytics tool is basically a tool that is free that will help you in understanding the behavior of people when they come to your website. And I think I gave an example of this. So assuming you have your website and you have your analytics tool, you don't wait, assuming you have your website and you don't have your analytics tool. So you don't have an analytics tool, but you have your website. All right. Do you know you would not even be able to know if you have any traffic coming to your website? You'll not be able to know how many people reached you, maybe if they made a call to you or made a purchase from the website, but you would not be able to know. All right. You can't measure the performance of your website. So you just have a website, you know it's online, and that's it. All right. You don't know whether it's working out for you or not. So the analytics tool basically helps you in understanding the performance of your website and the behavior of people when they come to your website, so you can make better marketing decisions. So, and I gave an example. If I have a website, there's a homepage, about us page, product page, and the contact us page. Or assuming you have an e-commerce website, assuming you have an e-commerce website and people are able to purchase from your website, okay, you're able to see the number of website sales you make. All right, you're able to see the number of people who called you from your website. You're able to see the number of people who visited your product page on your website. Okay, so you know whether the kind of information you're sharing on your website is working out for you or is not working out for you. Do you understand? And I give an example, like if you have 100 people coming to your website, then 90% I mean, 90 out of these people just go to your homepage and leave. So you only have 10 remaining people. And from these 10, you only have like three of them moving on to the About Us page, and maybe two of them going on to the product page. You'll need to ask yourself, why do I have 90 people leaving my website without doing anything meaningful? All right. Am I sharing the right information really? Am I sharing the information that they need? All right. Or is my website slow? Maybe it's slow. Maybe when they get to my website, it buffers a lot. So I need to make it a bit fast and less bulky. All right. Um, what do I need to do? Is my the kind of information that I'm sharing too complicated? Is my website very hard to maneuver? Okay, so those are the things that you can get information from Google Analytics. Basically helps you with that. Okay, how do I generate the Google Analytics? So just go to Google Analytics. Udemy, please post the link to Google Analytics in the chat section. Please post the link to Google Analytics in the chat section, and you can get started with that. I think it should be analytics.google.com, if I'm not wrong. So Udemy will post the link to the Google Analytics in the chat section. So you can look at it, look at the interface, and get started with that. Link it with your website, because at the end of the day, you need information. I mean, you need the information on that. And then if you have a website developer, you can always just tell them to link the analytics tool with your website. Okay. So analytics.google.com, it will be dropped in the chat section. Analytics.google.com, then you can get started. Okay. So any further questions? Do I have any further questions? Any further questions, please? No question. If there are no question, please feel free to also indicate no question. If there are no question, please indicate no question, please, so that we can move on to the next part of our session. If there are no questions, please indicate no question as well. Thank you, Deme, for that. Thank you. Okay. I think it's cue for me to move on to the last part of our session. So we've looked at the right questions to ask yourself, the kind of tools you can use to get that information. Now, what do you do with that information? How do I analyze that information to make, tweak it onto my marketing strategy? How do I understand it well, right? If I'm doing a presentation, how do I go about it? Okay. So when you click on the Google Analytics dashboard, this is basically how the dashboard looks like. Okay, I'm trying to find if I can find my own analytics account to share my screen. Let me see if I can. Do I have it with me here on my tabs so that I can share my screen with you and you can get an idea of it? Okay. Okay. I hate to disappoint you, but I cannot see. I cannot see. I cannot see. Okay. I'm sorry. I think we will have to skip that. It was just a bonus to the class. I wanted to share my own analytics account so you can have a look at it, but it's fine. So this is the dashboard of the Google Analytics account. This is how it looks like. And you're going to look at the kind of data that you can get from analytics. So how to get set up. And I think this is also the question that you asked, Esther. So go to analytics.google.com, then choose the name of your account. What is the name of your account? Okay, is it Beryl's Organics, or what is the name of your account? Then what is your industry category? All right, are you in the manufacturing industry? Are you in the mining industry? Are you in the tourism industry? Are you in the hospitality industry? So choose the industry that you're in. And then to ensure that you can track the information on your website, you will need to input tracking code on the different pages on your website. Okay, so a tracking code is basically a code that you input to track the different pages of your website. If it's the product page, all right, where you're listing your products, or the services page where you're listing your services, you want to track how many people come to that site. You would need to input a tracking code on it. So most website developers already know where to get that code and how to input that. Okay. So if you have a web developer, they can assist you with that as well. Okay. So that's the benefit of the tracking code. It helps you to, it's a code that helps you to track uh, the different pages on your website. All right. So when you're using the website builder, this is basically what it says here. There's a simple field where you can add the tracking ID for your website. Okay, so to help you with that, like I said, if it's a bit complicated, you can get a web developer to assist you with that. They usually know how to go about that. And then when you're looking at the different areas of reporting, so there are four main areas that you need to focus on when you're doing the reporting. Basically, reporting is analyzing and, putting your data together in one maybe presentation. Okay, so you can look at your audience. All right, who are your audience? Who are the people who came to your site? What did they do? All right, so that's your audience. And then the acquisition bit, how did they find me? I want to understand how they got to my website, how they got to my social media pages, how they got to my Google business profile, how did they find me? All right, what are they doing? I talked about this, that's their behavior. Okay, what are they doing? And then conversions, what are they worth to me? Did they make website sales? Did I make bookings? Did I get calls? Do you understand? So those are the four main areas of reporting that you need to focus on: audience, acquisition, behavior, and conversions. All right. So when you're looking at the analytics account, when you're looking at your analytics account, you basically, there are two things that you need to focus on. So that is the channels, basically the dimension, the what, all right? And then the numbers associated on that. So the numbers could be on new users, return users, and the amount of sessions on from each dimension, or basically from each channel, right? So you can see that. Remember, the analytics shows you the behavior of people in your website, all right? So where did they come from? They come from organic search. All right, so that's number one. You can see on the screen, they come from organic search. All right, how many users did I have from organic search? Who are the new users? All right, how many amount of sessions did I have courtesy of organic search? All right, so organic search is when we just go to the search engine and do the normal searches that we normally do. If I go online right now and search for pizza near me or seafood near me, and I'm redirected to your website, that's from organic search. So if I come to your website, I click from your website, it's courtesy of organic search. That's what they mean. And then there's also referrals. So if you're working with referral sites, it could be, assuming you're a tours and travel company. So most tours and travel company actually are the ones that like to work with referral sites. So it could be TripAdvisor or could be Booking.com. So how many people came to my website via my referral websites? All right, via Booking.com, via TripAdvisor. All right, and then via direct search as well. So someone made a direct search on the internet. If it is Larissa Cosmetics, Beryl went online and searched for Larissa Cosmetics. These are the amount of users that searched for your direct name on the search as well, right? How many people came to my website? The number of sessions my website got courtesy from redirection from social media, all right? And then on display marketing as well, how many people came to my website via display ads? And then there's also the affiliates. So these are the informations that you get in regards to how channels are working out for you and the different numbers associated with each dimension. I hope you're all on the same page with that. So you remember the RIN acronym that we talked about in the first session, that basically gives you a guidance on the kind of questions to ask yourself, in able to know, to be able to know the kind of information that you're looking for. So there was RIN, reach, engage, activate, and nurture. So on reach, we asked ourselves, how are people finding me online? You want to understand how people are finding you online, okay? So you get under that, the kind of information that you get is you get to identify which search terms are driving organic traffic. So which search queries are people mostly using on Google to get to your website, okay? And you're also able to develop relationships with referral websites. So I'll take you back to the previous slide. So you see number 2, there's referral, all right? Under number 2, there's referral. I can see the number of users I got from referral, then new users, and the amount of sessions from referral sites. So obviously, if referrals brings in this amount of people on my site, it basically means it's working out for me or not. So I'm able to see which kind of referral sites are working out for me, and the ones that are not working out for me, then obviously I will need to cut those relationships, those ties, and focus on referral sites that are working out for me. All right. Then on engagement, what are people engaging with when they find me online? Okay. So these are the people who came to my website. What are they doing when they came to my website? Which pages did they interact with the most? Okay, so which pages on your website are performing better, which pages are not performing well, and what can you do to ensure that all the pages on your website are performing well. All right, and you're also able to discover, when you know the kind of content they're consuming, you're able to know what better content you can use to continue to ensure engagement. Remember, we said engagement is the second last step towards conversion. So you need to increase the amount of people engaging with you to increase the chances of them converting with you. Then there's also activation, right? Which channels are driving the most traffic, the most bookings? And I think I've talked about referral sites. So identify which sites are working out for you, which ones are not working out for you, and review those partnerships. On nurturing, you need to understand, are people dropping reviews on my website? Can I encourage them to drop reviews? All right. Because obviously, if I go to a website or a social media page or a Google business profile that has really good and very many positive reviews, then obviously I get some bit of trust in them. All right. It encourages me to purchase with them because I can see from previous cases that they're doing a good job. Okay. So you need to understand the different ways that you can get your clients to drop reviews. All right. Then I talked about the Google Trends, being able to use Google Trends to identify the popularity of search terms, when they are declining or inclining, related queries to that. You can do searches even by location. Okay. So basically that. So you can also you're able to adjust your offerings in regards to that. So if right now I have a basically I sell Apple products, okay, and I can see that the previous month and this month, so many people have been searching for the Fitbit watches, all right, and they're all Apple products. So I can decide, what, maybe I can decide to, so far I have not been bringing the Fitbit watches, but Apple has them as well. So if I have more people searching for them, then this is a potential market. So can I have that same offering? Okay. So you get to adjust your offerings according to the client demand. Obviously, if people are searching for them right now, you can also update that content on your website and indicate, what, we have new products. So if it's this Fitbit watches, how can they get them? Can they purchase them on your website? You understand? So all those things you get to understand. It basically shows you how all this information can help you in better positioning yourself to your prospects. Okay. So any question again up to that point. So remember to fill in the attendance form, please. Remember to fill in the attendance form. Udemy, please drop the attendance form and input the correct name as you would want it to appear on your certificate. All right. Your correct name as you would want it to appear on your certificate. Your correct name as you would want it to appear on your certificate. Udemy, please drop that and pin that on the screen for everyone to click on it and fill it out. Please drop the attendance form. Make sure you input the correct name as you would want it to appear on your certificate. So when we started the session, I talked about the Google Hustle Academy, which basically gives you an opportunity, a free opportunity to learn so much about, if it is on, you want to learn how to pitch your business, you want to learn about the different funding options available for you, how do you create your own business strategy, how do you increase revenue for your business, and then you're also paired with a mentor to walk you through the entrepreneurship journey. I think it's very important to have business mentors. Okay, then you feel like, you know what, I feel like I need to learn more things on my own. All right, I need to extensively learn. You can go to learndigital.withgoogle.com and learn on your own, and you still get certified for that. All right, so that's on learndigital.withgoogle.com /digital skills /courses, and learn more. Also, remember to follow us on our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Insta, Digital Skills for Africa, and then Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Impact Her. Impact Her. So, do I have any question, please? Do I have any question? Edward, Esther Edward, Vivian. Hi, Vivian. I know Larissa is here. I know Jacqueline is here. Jemima is here. Who did I miss? Queen is here. It was really nice having you, all of you, in this class. I enjoyed the session. I hope you also all enjoyed the session. Please remember to fill in the attendance form to be able to get your certificate link, to be able to get your certificate. Okay? So that's it for today. Thank you all so much. I will see you again in the next session. Bye-bye. Goodbye.